So it looks like we have to have another conversation about distance learning. Friday was a day from hell. And today I got a phone call, not a phone call, a series of messages, private messages between a friend and myself. And, one of the things I really admire about this friend is that her parenting skills are like top notch. The way she communicates with her children and her son, and the way she handles like problems and disruptions and those things with such patience and grace. So it's hard for me to imagine the situation that she described to me, except that the situation is predicated only on distance learning, meaning that this is not something that would have happened. This conflict between mother and children is not something that would have happened had it not been for distance learning. I'm going to go through a couple different reasons why distance learning is absolute bullshit. And I appreciate that most people won't agree with me, but I don't really give a shit about that either. So here we go. All right, reason number one. The conflict that it causes between mother and child. It's closely tied into reason number two. You've now prevented women, let's be honest, it's women. I'm hardly a feminist by any stretch of the imagination, but I'll tell you what, the burden of this is falling squarely on women's shoulders. I know so many dozens and dozens of women in real life that have quit jobs or had to cut hours so that they could be home for distance learning. That impacts the family's financials, which impacts the stress level of the house. So there's that. Sorry, folks, I'm driving, so I'm trying to keep track of my thoughts and keep track of where I'm going. So reasons number one and two, the conflict that it causes, the financial strain that it causes. Women are unable to work. It is literally setting women back decades, because we have to quit our jobs to stay home and be managers of this school. Not that anyone asked us. Okay, reason number three, let's talk about consent. Feminists, can we talk about consent? I did not consent to running a homeschool. I did not consent to my house looking like a damn call center, okay? While we were asked and filled out some survey on Google, the school ultimately went ahead and put the burden on the parents. So, I don't know, that's cute, I guess. The reason that I bring up my friend who's such an excellent parent is she texted me from her bedroom where she was hiding after having yelled at her children so badly that her and them were in tears. Now, this is pretty severe for this woman. I can't imagine a situation in which she would yell, but you know what? She's she is a super cool person, cool, calm, and collected type of person. So it's really hard for me to imagine that. But I do believe what I read. And she told me in text messages that she was having a hard time with the kids, and it was 100% due to distance learning. And it's the stress and struggle. This is literally from the time we wake up until school is over, that my children do not come to me with anything other than a problem or something that needs to be done, that requires my time and attention. There was no consent from me for that, okay? And I don't want to hear anymore that this is all about protecting people from coronavirus. Look, 8 months ago, we were told 2 weeks to slow the spread, to prepare the hospitals, to make sure they had what they need. Oh, and by the way, President Trump made sure he got what they need. Their ventilators, right? Their masks. He pulled acts out and changed the direction of certain companies so that they would start manufacturing products that we needed. Nobody gives him credit for that, though. Go figure. So coronavirus is no longer a threat. The survival rate is somewhere around 99.9% if you are under the age of 65. Okay? It is time to get teachers back in the building and make them accountable again. Make teachers accountable. Hashtag make teachers accountable again. So here's my issue. So like, let's just take for an example. Today, my 7-year-old had a live math class that lasted an hour and 12 minutes. Do you know what it took an hour and 12 minutes to teach? Even in odd numbers. I shit you not. Even in odd numbers. I said, Grace, are you bored? Yeah. I said, can she hear us? No. Grace, you know what the even numbers are? Yeah, 2, 4, 6, 8, 0. Okay. If any number ends with 2, 4, 6, 8, 0, it's even. She's like, I know. So what's the hour and 15 minutes all about? Of course the kid is bored. Of course she doesn't want to sit there. I am so at the end of my rope. I am ball and chained to that house every day. And you know what? Don't tell me that's what I signed up for when I had kids, because you know what? There's been a social contract between the people who pay the taxes and the school system that uses it for decades now. So now's not the time to tell me that this is something I should have expected, huh? It's putting stress and strain between the relationship between mother and child. It's putting financial stress and strain in marriages, in families, which is leading to more alcoholism, people, more domestic abuse, more cutting, more of those behaviors that are tied to mental health conditions. And then the school system just decides they're going to heap some additional stress and strain on moms, and we're just supposed to take it. I don't want to take it anymore. I'm sick of taking it. I'm sick of bending over for these people. I really am. We're getting to a point where something is going to have to happen. Now, they are unironically reevaluating right after the election. Sure, it's coincidental. I was like, totally coincidence, because, you know, coincidences are what they are. Okay? So if the kids aren't going back, then I'm reevaluating how we school. Do you have any tips for homeschool curriculums that are good for multiple grades? Like, I know there are some that are designed for families, and then there's multiple grades within those packages. So probably start with something like that. But at this point, I have to take them back to the grade that they were in when this whole thing started, because they never even finished that. They don't even have the foundational basis for the type of things that they're working on now. Stress and strain, man, all around. They're not learning shit. And I'm sorry if that upsets people. It's a substandard method of schooling. There's no way you can tell me it's better. There's no way. There's no way you'll ever convince me. This video is already getting way longer than I intended. You know, for the moms out there that have lost their patience, I really, really, really just want to say to you that I understand where you're coming from. I really do. And I don't fault you, and I don't think you're a bad mom for yelling at your kids. I think that you're a mom who has had unreasonable expectations heaped upon you for the last 8 months, and then they decided that you were going to homeschool, but they were going to dictate the fucking schedule. Oh, and what the kids wear, and whether the microphone is on or off, and whether the camera is on or off, because they need to be involved in every little minute detail of your life, right? Sweet baby Jesus, I am trying so hard. If you're failing, I'm failing too, and it's okay. We're failing together. Reach out for support. Most moms are going to understand, okay? I love each and every one of you that is trying to get through this distance learning bullshit with your kids. Good luck. I would love to hear how you're doing with it and how they're doing with it. I'm sure that I'm not the only one that is struggling, because I am good friends with about 4 moms who are dealing with distance learning, and all 4 of us are losing our goddamn minds. I want to hear if you're losing your mind too. All right? Thanks so much for sticking around this long if you did. Bye.